Just as I was about to turn around and head for Miyashita Park or Heiko Academy, I heard a faint sound. A tiny noise like tearing cloth. I thought I might have imagined it, but forced my aching legs forward to look in the alley where I heard it. Lights didn't reach into the alley, so I could see nothing but darkness. The sound of water going drip, drip, drip. Someone's house pipe must have been broken. I took another step forward into the darkness, as if I was being drawn by the sound. Suddenly there were several sharp, metallic clangs at my feet. I quickly jumped back, surprised. When my eyes adjusted in the darkness, I saw that they were paring knives. And all of them were stained dark with something, their blades bent or broken in place. This knife I bought at the convenience store really doesn't cut that well. I felt something cold crawl up on my back as I remembered Ito's words.
Oi, Yui, iru no ka? Yui.
Took another step forward. There was what I felt like a puddle of water at my feet, and I heard a splash. But there was no answer. I took another step forward. The splash got louder. Then I realised the liquid was sticking to my shoe. Looked down and saw my shoe was stained with the same dark red colour as the knives. I think it's quite obvious it's not. It must have changed course, because the moment I had that thought, I smelled something awful. I inhaled a full breath of the stench before I could cover my nose and mouth. Yeah, I looked towards the sort of smell, and when my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I could see it. Fucking hell! She was cut into pieces and put into each different boxes. The sick bastard! It was the unpleasant but somehow seductive and sweet smell of meat. I could see small boxes laid out in rough shape of a human body. It looked like some kind of grotesque homemade doll. Dark red liquid was flowing from the boxes. I suddenly felt an urge to throw up. How long did it take me to realise that I was staring at what was left of my little sister? Because of that, it took me a little while to notice the man further down the alley staring at the pool of blood. He was holding the murder weapon in his hand. It was dripping with blood. Whoa! Ito hopped over what used to be Euro and spoke to me in the same pleasant tone he always used.
どうしてだってそれは俺の方の質問だよなお前さなんであの時助けなかったんだあの時なんで見捨てたんだ見捨てたって誰よ誰って千里はあんなに苦しんでただろうが
Senri? It sounds Senri? Why was he saying her name? Why was Ito talking about Senri?
分の大切なものを失う自分は、自分の無力さを思い知りながら後悔に苛まれる自分は。
I found nothing but confusion. What I was looking at didn't seem real. So I just stood there and stared at Ito's face, dumbstruck.
彼女は俺にとってかけがえのない存在だった。それをお前は見殺しにしたんだ。でこれでようやく復讐が終わる。
What was the relationship between Mr. Sunri and Eito? What happened between them? It didn't look like I'd have time to think about it. Ito's knife got steadily closer to me.
次は宮代の番だ。よく切れるメスと麻酔薬は持ってきたか。それがなきゃひどく痛くて苦しむぞ。ゆいちゃんみたいにな。
Bloody hell. Ito smiled a murderous smile. Oh, so that's how it's going to be. For some reason I lost the capacity to think clearly. That was the only thought that was left. I'm not even going to look like a person when he's done with me. Just like Yui. The feeling overwhelmed me. All I could do was stare into Ito's bloodshot eyes and wait for the moment of my death. And then I heard what sounded like a scream behind me. It was enough to drag me back to my senses. Hey Kuroso, I've got a present for you. Have a look. I looked back and saw Kuroso standing over the streetlight, her shoulders heaving up and down.
Ito-kun, nani o shite iru no?
Her eyes went wide at the knife in Ito's hand. He'll kill you too. Get away from here, Kuroso. I wanted to tell her to get away, but only meaningless noises came out of my mouth. It was like my vocal cords had been paralyzed.
Kotaete! Ito-kun!
Because to the exact opposite of what I'd hoped she would, she ran into the alleyway, blocking my way out. And at the same time, she noticed the boxes filled with body parts and the stinking pool of blood. She gasped.
これ、何？タクル。ゆいは、どうしたの？ねえ、ゆいは？
I was finally able to speak, but I couldn't answer her question. It was pathetic, but tears started to well up in my eyes. I couldn't stop them. Ito answered for me, flipping the knife from one hand to another as he spoke.
ああ、ほら、気をつけなよ副部長。その箱を一つでも踏み潰したら、ゆいちゃんを組み立てられなくなる。
Fucking sick psychopath. Yuzu jumped back and started to shake as she stared at the boxes.
嘘でしょ。
She sank to her knees and reached out towards what used to be Yui, not caring that she'd be soaked with blood.
こんなの嘘、絶対に嘘。
She picked up something long and thin. It had a pretty nail on it, one which had never been manicured even though its owner was old enough to be interested in makeup. It was Yui's finger.
Dakara, 副部長、勝手に触らないでくれよ。ゆいちゃんが綺麗に見えるよう芸術的に詰めたんだから。
どうして
全部宮代が悪いんだよ。 南沢千里を苦しめたから。その復讐さ。
千里の復讐？
そうだよ。千里はもっと痛かったろう。苦しかったろう。しかも実験が辛くて死にたいと思っても死ねなかった。ゆいちゃんなんてまだ幸せだよ。こうしてすぐ死ぬことができたんだからね。
Fucking hell. When I heard those words, something snapped inside me. The fog in my head cleared instantly and my blood started to boil. It was a rage I couldn't control. The next thing I knew, I leapt at Ito with my bare hands. He pointed the knife straight at me as if he'd been waiting for this. I could tell it was pointing straight at my neck, at my carotid artery. If I'd been more calm, I would have known better than to jump on him without any defences, but now I couldn't hold back my anger. I must have thought he had me because a cruel, thin smile formed on Ito's lips. I knew I was going to die. I hope that Kuroso, at least, might be able to get away. Last thought went through my head was... If heaven was real, that was probably where Yui was going. But I knew without a doubt that I was going to hell. So I'd probably never see her again. But the moment of my death never came. Instead I heard Kurosu scream. It was a violent sound, unlike anything I'd heard from her before. I looked in surprise and saw that she had grabbed Ito from the side and two of them were rolling on the ground. Two of them were rolling around in Yui's blood. She didn't seem to hear me at all. She screamed like a wounded animal and tried to grab both of Ito's arms from behind. Her whole body was covered in Yui's blood, and each time she moved, her long hair flew up and sent dark red splashes everywhere. He tried to shake her off and punched her in the stomach. She moaned in pain when the impact hit her where she'd been stabbed before, but she still hung on desperately and refused to let go. I leapt on top of Ito without even thinking. Grabbed the hand of the knife and smashed it into the ground with all my might. There was a dull snap as his fingers shattered and the knife fell to the ground. I kicked it far away. Put my full weight on Iko's back and pinned him to the ground. He was stronger than I thought and he almost knocked me off, but I refused to let go. She didn't seem able to answer my question. She sat down on the ground and tried to catch her breath. The shock seemed to have temporarily robbed her of her ability to breathe. Big tears fell from her eyes, and when she finally caught her breath, she started to sob.
Fukubuchou, 恨むんなら宮代を恨むんだな。あの時こいつが千里を見捨てていなければ 俺だってこんな事件を起こすこともなかった。なあ、宮代。
No.
全ての事件の元凶は宮代だったんだ。お前が追いかけてたはずのニュージェネの狂気の再来事件は、実はみんなお前を追い詰めるために俺が起こしてたんだ。そんなことも調べられないで何が情報強者だよ。すげえ滑稽だぜ宮代。
That couldn't be true. People had died because of me. If I'd found the truth faster, Yuri wouldn't have died.
嘘。
Kuruso's voice was so soft I couldn't hear what she was saying.
クルス。
嘘よ。伊藤君の言ってることはみんなデタラメじゃない。
はあ？
Kuruso jerked her face upward without bothering to hide her tears. She stood up, enraged, and screamed to the sky.
あなたは誰？伊藤君にこんなことをさせて。どこかで私たちを嘲笑っているのは一体誰なの？
クルス。
見てるのは分かってるのよ。私の大切な妹をこんな姿にしたあなたは一体誰？
Something red dripped down from Kuruso's skirt. Was it Yuri's blood? Or had Kuruso's own injury opened again?
どういうことだクルス？
伊藤君は千里のことなんて知らない。誰かにそう思い込まされてるだけ。
はあ？何言ってんだよ。俺は大好きだった千里のために復讐を。
だからそんなの嘘。私は千里と一緒にずっと過ごしてきたのよ。千里はあなたに会ったことなんてない。なのに復讐なんてありえない。
バカなこと言うなよ。俺は千里を愛してたんだ。だから千里のために。
I could tell that Ito's body was starting to shake underneath me. His teeth were chattering as if he was afraid of something.
それも全部デタラメよ。千里はあなたなんて絶対に知らない。だからあなたが千里を愛しているはずがない。
違う。伊藤。
Ito flailed about. Foamy bubbles were pouring from his mouth. His bloodshot eyes had rolled up into his head, and they were so swollen that they looked like they might burst out of their sockets. And... Whoa, shit. Suddenly, blood started to pour out of both his eyes. Yeah, because he is also being affected. Shit. It wasn't Yuri's. It was very clearly his own. When I recalled, he crawled out from under me and then curled up on the ground. He grabbed his head with his hands and started to spasm and flail about.
頭が割れる。
おい、伊藤。
伊藤君。
Ito tore at his head and finally started to bang it against the ground.
やめろ。おい。
ダメよ、伊藤君。
Kuruso and I grabbed him and tried to stop him. His forehead split open and the blood coming out of it, mixed with the blood coming out of his eyes. It's impossible to even tell what he looked like now. But he shook us off and started to jerk and flail some more.
離せんりやしろ。俺は千里を見捨てたお前が許せない。だって俺は千里のことを。千里って誰だ？南沢千里？ そうだ、犯人だ。宮代を狙った殺人犯。気をつけろ宮代、あの女はまた襲ってくるぞ。千里はお前を恨んでるんだ。だってお前はあの子を見捨てたんだからな。だから俺がこうして復讐してやったんだ。だからゆいちゃんが死んだのもお前のせい。いや、俺がゆいちゃんをこんなにしたのかよ。俺がIto
was shouting loudly, but he wasn't making any sense. It was as if what Kuroso had said was right, and someone was controlling his brain.
待てよ、俺がゆいちゃんにこんなこと。俺ゆいちゃんのこといつもいい子だなって思ってた。宮代とも仲が良くてちょっと羨ましいなって。でもそうか、俺が殺したんだ。だって千里のためだもんな。で千里って誰だっけ。
Suddenly Ito's laughter cut off and he froze like a toy whose batteries ran out. Then all the strength drained from his body and he collapsed. Kuroso and I together couldn't support the full weight of an unconscious human, so we all fell to the ground. Neither of us could move for a while. We just lay there, holding Ito between us. And staring at the bloody boxes that held our sister. God, Tokyo Han.
Yui!
There's a sick bit of humour there. Tokyo Han has her hand, and that thing in the heart said, made of the care of the hearts or something. Because I started to cry like a little girl. But there was nothing I could say to her, because I felt like I was going to cry too, and it was all I could do to stop myself. I heard many footsteps in the distance. It was either Shinjo and the police, or maybe the reporters of our neighbour dorm. Shit, it is the reporters. Fuck. I closed my eyes shut. I didn't want to see anything else. I didn't want to hear anything else.
ダメだよ、タクル兄。のの姉って本当はまだ子供なんだから、タクル兄が支えてあげなくっちゃ。ね。
Jesus. Was it her ghost, maybe? I could see Yui smiling gently, then when I closed my eyes,